Right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Dreammakers Monday night call. We are, what are we calling this, babe?
What are we calling this? I don't know. I said something.
I know you did say something, and you wrote it, so that's why I was thinking maybe
setting ourselves up for a big summer.
Yeah, setting ourselves up for a big summer. And the reason why we're talking about that now is because summer takes some planning, right?
A lot of planning.
When we get to summer, we want to chill and relax, or we'll be in full momentum because we'll come home from convention and we'll have even more great information in our hands. And we want to make sure that we are equipping you and giving you just some ideas really now to be ready for an awesome summer.
Yeah, I think what we want to, connection here. There we go. So I think what we want to do is kind of peel back the layer and show you a little bit about our lives and what we're thinking, because I think a lot of people come June 1. They get into graduations, they get into summer trips, they get into camps, they get into projects, they get into travel. Mm-hmm. So they've got all these things going around. Then they've got kids sports camps, kids sporting events, kids are home. So you have all these competing things going on. So as we were lying on the beach, laying on the beach, we were able to kind of pull back and relax. And also for us, it's like a great time for us to do some planning and thinking about what are our potential buyers or potential ambassadors, what are they going to be doing this summer, what's going to be distracting them, and what can we do on May the 14th until June 1st to kind of get ourselves ready to have a big summer.
Right. And I think, too, we want to make sure that what we're going to talk about tonight, or just with even sharing for ourselves, is the whole point of doing this kind of business, and is one that you own your own business, right? So you set your own hours, you set your own expectations, but two, that you work this business smart, and you can't check out for the entire summer and work your business smart and have anything left to really show for it come August, September, right, October, into the end of the year if you don't work your business some of the summer. And yet we want you to have a good summer. We want you to do all the things. But if we think about it now, and we're just talking like really for us, we're in a 3-week countdown from school being out for our kids. Some people I know have college kids, they're already done. But thinking about what you can do today to prepare yourself so that you can work truly strategically this summer and ride, like I said, if you saw my our little live from Mexico, I really do feel like we're headed into this vortex of full momentum, that you're ready to step into it and ride with that wave instead of constantly fighting it or trying to get off to the side where you completely miss.
Before we jump into that, though,
yes,
let's talk about Joyome.
Yes. So for many of you, you're on probably somewhere between day 1 and day 7. Actually, today is day 8 for me. So I actually started Saturday night of a week ago. Anyway, so you're starting to see some results. You're probably seeing lots of pictures. I've been posting a lot and adding to our photo album. You probably are seeing from other jewels, other ambassadors posting their before and afters, their day 1s, day 4s, day 1s, day 2s, day 7s. And Ame Darling actually got on our jewel page today and shared a little live to remind us of some things that I thought were really helpful that I want to share and pass along, as well as corporate sent out the frequently asked questions for Joyome. So if you have that email, we're going to go over and highlight a couple of those things just to make sure that we're all on the same page with that. Or if you have any questions, this is a great time to bring them up. But then just good reminders, right? Just like our triplex, I loved what Ame said, just like our triplex, we are in the business of being great customer service reps. So what does a great customer service rep do? They know the need of their customer. So asking questions is key. And so a lot of what's happening is we're all in this kind of flurry of excitement. We're seeing, pretty quick results for some people. Everybody's noticing some sort of changes with their skin. And we all have this like need or inclination, get our information out there the fastest, right? Because if we get it out there faster, then somebody's going to see my results and they're going to see from me and they're going to want to purchase product from me and grow you want to grow your business either with a customer or an ambassador. But we have to remember to ask questions, make sure that the people that we're interacting with that are potentials, that we're asking them if they're using a current skincare regimen. Just like if you were putting someone on a triplex, you would make sure, what other medications are you on? Are you currently using another probiotic? We want them to take a break, a step away from their products and try ours. Some verbiage that I'm using that I'm finding is really helpful is, would you be willing to try our products knowing that you have the 60-day money-back guarantee and compare them to your current regimen? So I'm not downplaying their current regimen, but I'm asking them, I'm inviting them to take a look at what we have to offer and just see if it might be a better fit for them or easier for them or less expensive for them. You want to ask if they have sensitive skin. You want to know, do they typically break out? Are they using an anti-aging product? Based on what they're telling you their needs are, you'll kind of be able to guide them as we're all kind of learning from this. One of the things that I'm finding is that my skin tends to be a little oilier, and you can see I'm very like glowy right now. Well, that's almost, and that's because I'm using the full 3 pumps. I had been until today. I backed down to see if some of that moisture glow kind of almost, I feel like it's a glare, but it's not, on my skin would maybe tame down. So all the people that are acne prone that I've been watching have been using less of the AM than what is suggested on the bottle, and they're seeing fewer breakouts. Because the other thing that we want to know is that our skin doesn't detox. If you talk to a skincare professional, they will tell you your skin does not detox. Now, we know that our bodies detox and that our skin is our largest organ. So if things work themselves out of our skin, we would call that detox. So instead, in the skin industry, skin science, they will use the words a rebalancing. So when you talk to people, especially people that are well versed in skincare, use the verbiage rebalancing, because your skin is kind of building up, right? Peeling off that old layer, bringing up the new, and you're going to see some blemishes for some people, and that is perfectly normal. The results that we had for 1 week in were that the skin looked more hydrated and it was softer to the touch. If we're noticing things are firmer, or we're seeing sunspots fade, or we're seeing dark circles disappear, you can certainly say that that's happening, but that was not what was typically or clinically researched and found in the first 7 days in the study. It was 85% had more hydration and more skin suppleness or softness. And so I will be putting up in this thread, once this is up and recorded, I will share with you that graphic that was shared during the live and the reveal to remind us all of what those results were when. So if you've already checked your emails tonight, if you've been on your product for a week, you got an email from Dr. Zan saying, checking in with you at 7 days, which I love. It's great marketing. And she goes over expectations. Again, what a wonderful tool that we have now to be able to put in the hands of our customers, our newer ambassadors, people that are not paying attention to maybe what all's going on behind the scenes, to be reminded of what your skin's doing. The other thing that
I was going to say, take a breath for a second. Okay, you got a lot of information. So let me take a breath and kind of recapture where you're going to go from here. What I want to interject was, I was on did a guys call for Dale Mayo last week, right before we went on our quick vacation. And there was a guy who said, all right, seriously, who's getting excited about sharing Plexus Joyome with dudes? And I thought there were some great points that I wanted to share with you all as well. And number one, the response I thought, and the response that I think his name's Chris Goff shared was, I know a lot of guys who work outside all day that get a lot of sun exposure, and this is a way for them to help their skin help fight the effects of aging, maybe some effects of precancerous cells forming, etc. So I see it as universal, guys and women taking care of themselves. So, he goes, me being a former road construction supervisor, there's a lot of guys I would approach and would say this is a way you can help your skin. For me, knowing what my wife was spending on a lot of her skincare products, and knowing that there are so many women out there who see it as a necessity to spend money on these skincare products versus looking at BioCleanse and ProBio and Slim as almost a frivolous spend. It's kind of a paradigm shift, right? Like, I have to have, look good. I have to have these products to take off my makeup. I have to have these products to make my skin look healthy. But I can't really take Slim to lose that extra 5 pounds. It's a lot of extra money. They're already spending this money, right? So this is a way to have less steps, be more efficient, and have a product that works. Okay. And less expensive. Okay.
So thank you for sharing your mail input. Where I was going with all that I'd been sharing was really about starting people off and really setting expectations and just those reminders of when we're starting someone on a regimen. Also, if they tell you that their skin is sensitive, just like a ProBio or a bio cleanse, not all skin is created equal. Not everybody needs to start off with those 3 pumps. Maybe have them start with a patch of their skin if they're sensitive to see how they react and respond. And maybe you start them with 1 pump in the morning and 1 pump at night. And as they can handle it and don't have any negative impact or results, to build back up to those 3 or maybe 2 works for them, right? So just like all of our products, we want to remember that more doesn't necessarily equal better, even though I have been guilty the last 8 days of like, where else can I put it, right? It's really good. Now, I know there's been a lot of questions about the eye area, and Amy, I may address this again today, and I want to make sure it was a good reminder for me, and hopefully it will be for you too. While we're taking away or eliminating the need for eye cream that we typically, would put here in this area, she said, what's happening with the hydrolipid transference of all those micronutrients to your skin is that we still want to avoid the orbit area. So like from here, if y'all can see me and I'm using my ring finger so you can see under here to the bridge and then back around. You don't want to put any of it on your eyelids. May shared a funny story that a girl on her team did that and she was like swollen like a puffer fish from here because you don't have any fat in around your eye right in there. So that's where that crepey skin breaks down faster, it gets heavier, and really can't tolerate the strength of our products. Now, I've gotten it probably up here in this area probably once I've like put it on and then I'm kind of reformulating or patting in where I've put it initially, and I haven't had any burning. But that's not to say that we might have a customer that does. So just erring on that side of, really careful. And again, just like eye cream, patting that area versus rubbing. Just that, make sure everybody's on board with that. And then I'm just making sure I'm covering everything else. If somebody has a negative reaction of some sort, Ame made a great point, and I think it's just good information just remembering all the way along, even in thinking about HC. And so many of you are now getting to try HC, and you're seeing, maybe the difference of flavors you're not used to or whatever. Asking yourself and asking your customers, but is this really a deal breaker? A lot of times we do things. A lot of people I know drink apple cider vinegar every morning. Do you think that they love the taste of it? I think very few people in this entire world would ever say that apple cider vinegar is good. But we know that the benefits outweigh maybe the flavor. For some, I can't get over it personally, but that's a whole other thing. So you go, is that a deal breaker? So with our skincare, maybe for me, the first 3 days, I had a slight itchiness, like right under here. But I was loving what it was doing to my skin. So is it a deal breaker that it was slightly itchy under there? No, and now it's not at all. So making sure that we're comfortable asking that question of our team members and of our customers and our future new ambassadors, is this really a deal breaker? Because even if you think about HC, maybe you don't like lemon lime, but when you drink one that you can barely eat in a day and it's totally curbing your appetite. Is it a deal breaker? No, because you want that benefit, right? So just remembering and reminding yourself of that. And then we didn't talk about this a whole lot. You'll see that the lights were bold. This is the card that you got in your Joyome kit from your VIP with your VIP pack. Make sure that you are reading through this, using this information. Make sure that you are tapping into your library resource. I know we talked about this again last Monday night as a big team with Team Lynn. But y'all, there are so many resources available to you in terms of videos, in terms of the joyomeskincare.com, sending that to people initially and then following up with them. You have your samples, you have your brochures. I've probably given out 10 of the 30 or so that we have because, we have several packs. And it's just a great way to kind of support yourself throughout your business. So that's Joyome. I think all we're going to talk about, the other thing is I think some of y'all probably saw my post today. cystic acne is actually a diagnosis that we cannot talk about. So you can't say, well, this girl had cystic acne and now she doesn't. You can use the word deep, painful blemishes, and that kind of describes, most people know what that is, but you're not describing like an actual disease or condition. So make sure you, again, stay away from eczema, psoriasis, all those kinds of things. You can say dry, peely skin, itchy skin, red bumps, those kinds of things. Describe, but don't diagnose. Okay.
Cool.
You want to open up to questions before?
Let's pause before we go on and see if there's any questions at this point. Any feedback about Joyome, whatever you want to, this is y'all's forum too. You can unmute yourself. There we go, Monique.
Okay, so we can't say that the skin is our largest detox organ?
You could say that your skin is your largest organ, and that we can detox through, I guess, through your skin. But when you're talking about facials or skin treatments, to say that if I'm having a breakout, an esthetician will not agree with you that has been trained or schooled with you saying that you're in detox. So they like to use the word rebalance or sloughing of the skin, resurfacing of impurities. I think Dr. Zan uses that in her video today for the 7 days. She said, you may be experiencing that some impurities are coming up to the top layer of the skin and through, and that's actually a good thing. So if you're having some breakouts, like I got some random little bump here, but it was not, I can get cystic acne, and this was not that. This was definitely just stuff coming to the top, and it's almost gone now, and it came up yesterday morning. So very quickly, working its way out of the skin, not painful, just kind of clearing out.
Okay.
Good question.
Well, I've got it in my notes. I was actually going to say that in a live, so it's good. I didn't do that live yet.
Well, and I think it's easy, right? We get super excited. I know that I even feel like a post that I did today was probably a little overzealous and setting a high expectation to see great results quickly. And while so much of the clinical research and so much of the, what do they call it, perceptual research, where the people, they just gave their own opinions of their skin, was great, we have to remember that there may be people that are, their face is covered in blemishes the first 7 days because their skin's working all of that junk out. And again, like I said last Monday, we all are on triplex. We're all experiencing balanced guts on the inside. So if they don't have that rebalancing going on and all that stuff starts to come up because we're addressing it on our largest organ, then we want to be able to not to set realistic expectations. So when somebody doesn't have great results like we do in 7 days, that they're like, well, it didn't work for me. So, because we just don't want to sell ourselves short or our product short, and knowing that, really 30, 60, and 90 days is where we're going to see that maximal benefit moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, today's my day 4, and I'm really liking it.
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm doing it as well. Thank you all for commenting on how smooth my skin looks.
He has not used it in 2 days.
In 2 days. I've used
it. So
it.
Mr. Mango needs to be a little.
In all seriousness, though,
he does have it.
I've had a couple sunspots for years. I had last year or year before, I had them frozen off. And I'm seeing it fade significantly in the 4 days I was using it. So I'll be back on it tonight.
Yeah, I think Erica's noticing a line right here, and she's been on it maybe seven days today.
Yeah, I have that same thing, and y'all, I can't, you can barely see it, but I usually get that sucker filled. Yeah. And this is and it was due to get filled in another week or so, and it's seriously fading. Those are called 11s, and either somebody will have the one or both of them. And it's not cheap to make those disappear. So they start disappearing on their own.
Save some
That's
dough.
saving some dough.
Because the other thing too, right? It's, you say you get it treated, you're getting it treated with poison.
And a Band-Aid, right? Something that doesn't last very long.
But no, let's be clear. Botox is a poison that you're injecting not far from your brain. But yeah, okay, we'll put that aside. Okay.
I'm
Okay,
finding
so-
like I have puffiness underneath my eyes and circles, and I've used like Rodan and Fields, and I've used stuff at the store and nothing, but I'm finding it's starting to go, and I've just been doing it about 5 days.
Yay.
So even the husband's like, "Hey, it's not as puffy." I'm like, "Thanks, leave my eyes alone."
It's really for those of us too. I laugh because I'm having to fight myself a little bit, to be honest. The regimen seems too easy, right? And I want to I was like in the mirror the other day going, should I grab this other toner? Should I do this? And then I was like, well, I don't need to. It's all here. And that's the other it's a huge sell, you guys, if we can get people there to understand when it's hard and takes a lot of time, we're not typically consistent. And so when things are easy and fast and results oriented, holy cow, that's life-changing, right, for people.
So it's a great transition.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and we'll do more questions here at the end, but so one of the things that as we were sitting on a beach, looking at the ocean, relaxing, and I'm usually either sleeping or reading a magazine, I look over and Jen's writing feverishly. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What were you doing?
So when I finally, and you girls probably can relate to this, right? We typically in our lives, in our regular lives, we have so much to juggle and manage that you're really on like short fuse memory, right? Where you're like, okay, I have to do this now, but then I can go to this and then I do this. And so I feel like very commonly I give little attention in little bursts to things that are going on in my life that matter. And I just have lots of little bursts. So when I get to go on vacation and everything like the laundry's taken away and there's no dogs to deal with and there's not this to, then all of a sudden I get this like ability to focus in on things that are coming. And for me, for those of you, I think all of you know this on this call, I'm very red in my personality. So that just means that I get kind of a burr up my butt about something and I kind of get stuck on it and I get very goal driven or focused about making something happen. And so in thinking about the summer and talking about this with all of you, I started thinking, you know what, I need to start from scratch with my business. And we are in such a unique position, really, each of us, to do that, whether you've been with this company for 6 months or you've been with this company for almost 5 years like we have. We are really in a position where we can totally, if we can help with our mindset to look at everything like a fresh start, even though we have the benefit of being in this kind of experienced bubble of we know what works and we know what doesn't work. We already know our products and how they work, to be able to move forward with a plan of really starting from scratch. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to think of every person that I've ever shared Plexus with, that's ever been a customer, that's ever been an ambassador, that's walked away that I haven't reached out to yet. That every woman that I know that cares about skincare, really every woman that I know in my circle of influence. And I started and I thought maybe I'll get 2 pages. And I think I have now,
The goal was
that one page is empty, but
her goal was to fill. Oh, see, was to fill this book before we left Mexico, and she's gotten about.
I'm almost there.
Yeah, like 25 pages of names.
So here's what I want to do with this, and I'm going to do this, and then I want to, this might work for you, it might not, and that's okay. But I feel obligated to share it. And, we've shared things in the past and they've worked, and we've shared things in the past and they haven't worked. But I'm going in with a plan for June because these products are not available unless they're to an ambassador in May. I also feel like May is a crazy busy month for people to typically make decisions, right, about something that they're going to change or spend money. And then knowing that this product is coming out June 7th, which is when we will all start and be at convention, right? So we are not going to really unless you're staying home from convention, which I think this year I almost think you have a leg up, really, honestly, because you can get excited from online and then get to work right away. You don't have all the other stuff going on. It'll be great no matter what. But for those of us who are going to convention too, especially thinking that you want to hit the ground running in June. June 1st is going to come, and those of us who are going to convention are going to be getting ready for going on a big trip, right? That's just the way that it is. People that are staying home, you're going to be dealing with, like Phil said at the beginning of this call, a million things come hit us June 1st. So my goal, now that my list is almost complete, is that I am going to be reaching out to every single person. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm positioning them and inviting them, giving them an invitation to become a tester for me. I'm going to create need, one, by saying that you've never experienced or seen anything on the market like this. And this is your opportunity to test the waters for me and give your opinion. People love to give their opinion. I'm going to limit the group. So I'm going to do two tester groups of 20 people and cut it off at 20 people. That's because I want to be able to interact well with those 20 people, check in with them, see what's going on, let them feel like they're in a small, not elite group, what's the word I'm looking for?
A group. It's okay.
But just a small, like not just being thrown into a number that they're going to be watched. And in return for, once they purchase their product, which I'm going to ask them to do, I'm not going to give them a discount to become a tester, but I'm going to instead offer them, if they will load their before and after picture, their before picture on day 1 that they purchase and their after picture on day 30, then they will be in the running for 5 different prizes that will all be $50. They're going to be worth $50 or more. So that for me is going to be like a $250 investment. I understand not everybody can do this. I'm just giving you this as a suggestion. And I really honestly don't think that it necessarily always matters what the prizes are, because people will go and buy a refrigerator at a furniture store for a free case of Coke. I've literally witnessed it myself. So people love free. So if they think that they're part of something special that they're giving their opinion for, that I'm closing off and only giving a limited supply. Now, y'all know if I get 42 customers, I'm going to be taking, there'll be 3 groups, right? We'll we'll just separate them. But I want them in groups of 20 so that they feel like they have a really good chance of winning some great prizes, that they're going to get to share their skincare journey if they so wish. I'm going to ask them to upload their before and afters. If they don't want them public in the group, because some people I know are sensitive about their skin and skin issues behind the makeup and everything else without the makeup, that's okay too. Well, we're going to kind of figure it out. I'm going to share with you everything that I do as I do it. I'm going to be sharing with you the messaging later on this evening, if not first thing in the morning. But I think what we have to do, if we are wanting to grow our businesses and grow them big, and I'll remind you, right, there is Leaders Retreat contest coming. There's so much buzz. June 1st. There's so much buzz in the jewel pages and the diamond pages, I've been told from my diamond friends, about this Leaders Retreat being the best ever in the 5 years that we've been there. That you want to be there and you want your teams there. And if you want to do that, then you're going to have to plan and think of some ways to do that. Now, there's a lot of other ways to be creative. I'm just sharing one of them because we know what we have in our hands with Joyome. Understanding the pricing really well. That's going to be a job that we all need to understand now. It's all in your back office. You can go look at it, read through, make sure you understand, you're familiar with the cost as an ambassador, as a retail customer, and as a preferred customer. What else was I going to say about that? June 7th. So the only incentive that I was going to offer is that there will be either free shipping or like $10 off if they order on June 7th. So because I want as many people as possible in that group for the month of June to then help me push, to July, because whatever then comes out with convention in terms of new product. And then we know that we have HC. If we do really well to stack ourselves in June with that 60-day supply, then we know that everybody's going to want HC if they can get their hands on it in August, and they have to be an ambassador. Well, if they're using the product in loving Joyome, guess what? That automatically will qualify them, right, to be an over 100 PV commission qualified ambassador or personal use ambassador. And that's what we want to make sure that we're qualifying with every month. We don't want to get somebody on Joyome and then never get them on any other product, right? So knowing that HC is coming in, that weight loss speaks so highly to so many people, why not ramp up and get people ready and really sold on the skincare before we get to HC?
So reset. What are your goals? Where are you putting them? And how many people do you want to see join this this group that what's your personal goal for activity in
So
June?
my personal goal is to have 1,000 points or more going into Leaders Retreat for the month of June.
Okay,
1,000 points means that I'm going to have 2,500 in PV. So I need at least 20 customers, right? At least. What?
You're off script. It's all right. It's cute. 50. Your goal was 50 customers. You're going to get
Right.
50
When I
Joyome
was talking about
customers.
that, yes, but
Okay.
I'm breaking things down for them for the contest because it won't
Okay.
make sense.
Okay.
Say what you want to say, Mango.
Go ahead.
I don't know where you're going with all this because I was talking and you're like, no.
Keep going. You're good.
So 2,500 in PV is the maximum PV that you can get 300 points. You want to maximize that, especially if you don't have a large team. And that's why, again, doing something like this and going after a large number of customers at once and knowing that we have a tester group. Now, if you are not comfortable and you don't like Joyome, you could do this with Triplex. You could do it with Slim and Block and Block. Yeah, you can do it with any product however you want to write it. It's just creating a need, right, for people. I think that having the giveaways at the end of it and having them have to produce something to qualify, which is easy with the before and after picture, is a great way to get buy-in, right? Just like with our 7-day slim challenges. That's why I think people love that. Getting to share, they're drinking their pink drink, they're doing something, and they're getting a little pat on the back for that. So, but those customers give you points, and then those customers then, in turn, like we talked about, by August, if not before, thinking about the new products that are coming, might be ready to turn into ambassadors and then be building a team as well. So there'll be a lot of momentum that just comes from that.
And so I guess the other thing we'll share is that we want everyone, that's always our goal, is to see success for you all and for your teams. But we have never been, nor do we ever want to be, leaders that lead from the rear. We want to be out front doing the activity and having success, and leading by that sort of example. So we're going to have the biggest goals out there because we want to see big results. And what we're doing now is getting these names, having a quick pitch. What's the pitch that you're going to use? Let's share that. What's the pitch that you're going to use to try and get people to become testers?
Well, one thing like I just shared a few minutes ago is that there's nothing on the market like this. So they've never seen anything on the market that will actually go in and truly through the hydrolipid system, but also to work with really as a pre or probiotic on your skin with your microbiome. And because that's such a buzzword and thinking about gut health and all that people are hearing, it's a really nice transition. I think also our results as we're sharing, I'm going to share some of my own results and then the results of other people. And then I'm going to talk about the importance of taking care of your skin more than any other time in the summer when you're out in the sun constantly. And then I'm going to use those prizes. Now, thinking about your audience too and the people that you're going to be, you can either use products as a pitch, right, to earn free product, or you could do Amazon, Target, a grocery store, an experience, right? Maybe if it's somebody local, getting them a manicure or a day at manicure, pedicure, something that will attract your audience specifically. The other thing, again, using that it's only 2 products, the easiest thing that's out there. All of those things, and again, I'm going to write those out for you so you'll have that. I have some of it written out in my book already to share with you. And then telling them that they have to hurry because you only have room for 20 in the group. So you're creating this like FOMO, you don't want to miss out. And then once they commit, so then once they commit and say, yes, I want to be a tester, okay, great. I'm going to get a 1-day sample to you to make sure that you're really in. And then you're going to go on my wait list. Yes, Lori, creating the need. You're going on my wait list and you will be contacted 3 days before, a week before, as a reminder that here's our special, and I did this last year. I did a signing day the day I came home from convention, and I signed up 12 people in 1 day. 2 were customers and 10 were ambassadors. It can happen, y'all, if you start building up and creating the urgency and creating the need right now and saying, you're going to be in my group, or oh gosh, there's 2 other people I'm waiting on an answer for. So just, if you can let me know as soon as possible, I want to make sure I have a spot for you. Those kinds of things. And if you get stuck with verbiage, reach out and we will certainly help. Maybe not fill on skincare, but
Well, no, you know what? As you say this, I'll wrap this up a little bit for questions. As I think about this, as I've tried to pitch Plexus to guys in the past, when I was at my chubbiest, I'd have guys go, well, so do you actually take the products? Which is a really nice way of saying, dude, you're fat. Does it really work? So with skincare, though, I mean, let's be honest. No one's going to go, well, your skin's kind of ugly. Are you really taking that?
Never, don't look at the sit, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, literally, it's kind of a judgment-free zone, right? Because skin.
It is, but it isn't. I think as a guy, it's different than a girl.
It is. So in other words, like, it's very subjective. Like I would look at everyone on this and say, I can't rate whose skin is better than someone else's skin. And there's no judgment based on the size and shape of your skin when it comes to Joyome, right? Doesn't matter if you've got full cheeks or skinny cheeks, right? Everyone still needs it. So anyway, just a more crazy perspective. All right, let's open it up.
Yes, we'll open it up to questions or comments or ideas, or if you got, if you have something else that you think you're working on, you want to work on, you want to share, we'd love to hear it. Everybody's good. Everybody's processing and quiet.
Well, I think like the Canadians, we just got our products too.
Right.
Andrea, you got yours today, right?
Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why I got mine so quickly.
They're coming quick, which is great, right? I love it.
Yeah.
Like, they got the shipping down. I will say the first 2 days, the reason I stopped is because you stopped pampering me, because Jen would bring me like a scrub brush and then a hot towel to wipe it off, and then a cold towel before I put it on.
And exactly.
And I could like lay in bed and go, will you?
I go, I'm not doing this every day. I'm like, you've never really washed your face other than I've seen you like in the shower, like refuse. But I'm excited that he's willing to do it, right?
Yeah.
No more pampering for you, mister. And Mr. Mango, he will not brag on himself, and I haven't done a post, but he's lost 62 pounds, by the way.
Holy cow. Good job.
Well, since Christmas, right?
January 1.
January 1.
What?
You're doing awesome.
Congratulations.
Wow.
That's why his face, that's why he likes to go, because his face is all skinny now.
Yeah.
Committed to being an example for sure. So, but as I develop all of this, I'm going to share it. If you want to use it, certainly use it, tweak it, and again, I know Canadians, it's always a little different, right? So you might there might be some tweaking, but I still think that there's still some value to doing it. And the other cool thing that I think will happen is when people are willing to put themselves, be a part of a group, right? Then there's this sense of like, well, like I'm doing something with somebody else and I'm not just on my own. And it might be the reminder, and it might be just like what everybody's seen from their support groups, right? Of putting people in potential groups that they're exposed to something that they're like, maybe I wouldn't ask the question, but Hannah asked the question and she got an answer that really resonates with me. And so that makes me want to stay committed to the products. Or it gives you another opportunity, right, to introduce other products along the way as they're trying their skincare for those 30 days.
Word.
So we'll see how it goes.
I just have a comment. It was my first day with Joyome. I picked it up and I hadn't showered yet. I picked it up before I went to the gym. And I only used 2 pumps, and that was plenty enough.
Yeah, I really think depending on where all you're putting it to, and if you have, like Alicia, one of my best friends, she has really dry skin. So she feels like she needs the 3. But if your skin's not super dry, if you tend to even be on the more oily side, then there's no reason to right? Unless you're going to spread it everywhere, which I was putting it on my chest during the weekend. That's cool.
Many jokes.
No.
Slim HC is not approved by Health Canada yet, so.
Yet.
We don't get it. Well, yeah, but it could be quite a while.
Really? Dang it.
I'll sneak some.
I know. Exactly.
I'll drive a van. No problem.
You'll be the Plexus smuggler. Oh my word. I hope that.
Florida.
There we go.
Hey, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, there's kind of some loopholes right now, right? That they're catching some. And
I'm
then
sure
others.
HC will be for sale at the Plexus store in the convention.
You would think so and hope so, but we've not been getting it. We haven't gotten any
Just
formal.
saying, bring an extra suitcase.
They did have it. I will just say they did have it for sale in Arizona
at
the store in Arizona at corporate.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, and I think it's going to be huge. But I think just like all of our products, nothing is a one size fits all, and so I don't foresee that every single. And I've already seen this on the Jules page as well. There's several groups going on that it's going to work the same way for every person. You know that polydextrose can different people respond differently digestively to that. So I've seen people have going to the bathroom too much, people saying they're not going to the bathroom enough, they're having to kind of tweak their BioCleanse. So like anything, it's not like unicorns and rainbows are falling from the sky. We're excited to have a great product that is specifically to address weight loss, and it does what it says. It does provide hunger control, but does that always equate to a perfect journey for weight loss? Maybe, maybe not. And what we do know is that what we have in our hands right now is an amazing thing. All of our products are. And so not to lose sight of that. And I think that's something that keeps just kind of bubbling up in my spirit is don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? Or the bathwater with the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah, right. It's okay.
Just because now we have skincare and now we're going to have this powerful weight loss tool, not to forget or lose sight of what we already have that are mainstays that we have had and have had so much success with. So it's all good.
I found with the HC the first couple of days, I don't get headaches. So any small little headache for someone who does get it, it would be wimpy, but to me it was major. And I had like really bad headaches the first couple of days.
Okay.
And now I seem to go on and it's better. So I'm wondering if it's kind of like when I took the Slim from last year, I was burping it up. So almost like a little bit of a detox that way.
Mm-hmm. And it does make you, like, it made me super dry, like constantly thirsty the first couple of days. And I'm not having that anymore.
I'm going to stop the recording and we'll go with any other questions. Awesome. Thank you all.